Now, Bob Thatcher was 11 kilometres from shore on Lake Wellington in eastern Victoria when he discovered he was not in fact alone in his fishing boat. Joining him on the trip was a metre-long tiger snake, one of the most venomous snakes in the world, and it was coiled in the bottom of his boat, making it very difficult for him to pull up anchor and motor on home. Well, Bob Thatcher joins us now live from the Port of Sale boat ramp. Bob, good afternoon. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Now, let's go back to the beginning, shall we? Set the scene for us. Off you go on your little fishing trip. How big's your boat? What was the weather like? How were you feeling?
Right, well, the boat is 14'6". I was over the other side of Lake Wellington. Weather was good. The lake was calm, and I was thoroughly enjoying myself. But I'd thrown my lines in the water to try and catch a fish, and when I was going to sit down on my seat, I looked on the floor and there was something there that shouldn't have been there, and it turned out to be the tiger snake, and it was only about 30 centimetres from my feet. So that set the heartbeat going a little bit. I thought I'd better not move. I was just stood there for 2 or 3 minutes while it looked at me and it flicking its tongue, and eventually it decided that it would backpedal and go over to the left-hand side of the boat and disappear amongst some of the tackle that I had down there. So I was able to sit down then and start planning what I was going to do to get rid of the thing.
Hold on, what's your heartbeat doing at this stage?
About 250 beats, I reckon.
So
it started sliding around in amongst the tackle that I had, and I thought, well, I was only 100 yards off the shore, and I thought, well, there's no sense getting onto the shore. I've still got to get back on the boat to get back to the ramp, and the stake was still in the boat. So I thought, well, the only thing to do was try and lift up the anchor and start motoring back across to the boat ramp. So with a little bit of mucking around, I was able to get past the snake and lift up my anchor and started motoring. So I decided I'd better start ringing some of the family and see what they can do to get me a little bit of assistance. So I rang my wife and got no answer, and I rang my son, Dean, and I got no answer from him. I rang my other son, Craig. He was out driving a bus, so no good there. So I didn't know what to do. I just kept on motoring across the lake and keeping my eye on the snake, and eventually it started to slide over onto the opposite side of the snake, over to the opposite side of the boat, which I didn't want him in because I wouldn't be able to see what he was up to. So I threw my jumper at it, and that stirred him up a little bit, but he finally went back to where he would come from on the left-hand side of the boat. And then I got a phone call from Dean, and in a bit of a panic because he'd missed all these phone calls. So I advised him that I had the snake in the boat, and would he give me a bit of assistance and ring up a snake catcher in town. So he got off and started ringing around or trying to find out who it was, and found out the snake catcher's name. So rang him up and spoke to Baden from Sale Snake Catchers, and Baden did the right thing and got in his car and headed off across the lake to the boat ramp where I was heading to as quickly as he could. So,
and that's the pictures we've just been looking at, Bob, of Baden on the boat taking it out. I mean, honestly, when you're motoring back across the lake there, did you take your eyes off that particular spot where the snake was?
Only to see where I was going and look back again and see that he wasn't coming any closer to me.
Did you think about trying to chuck it overboard?
No, I wasn't going to touch it, not a tiger snake. I had a wooden mallet that was my last bit of protection, but that was a very short handle, so it was only a last resort, but thankfully never needed it.
You're very calm now, but were you in a complete state of panic, or did you just think, there's nothing I could do, I just have to breathe deeply and get back?
Yeah, I'd settled down a fair bit because the snake was sort of behaving itself, and I'd started to settle down, and I was making good headway across the lake, getting closer to the ramp all the time. So it took me about another 15 minutes. I think it was about half an hour, the long trip over.
It's just an amazing story, Bob. I mean, I was going to say, have you ever had anything like this happen to you before? But that would just be stupid. Surely you haven't. No.
I had them around the boat, but I've never had one come on board. So.
And the snake was released?
Yes. Baden from the snake catchers, he caught it and put it in a bag and took it out, well away from where the boat ramp was. But, yeah, the snake was released. He's got a video of that, showed that to me, so I know that's a fact.
Brilliant. Do you know what, Bob? You have the best pub story for the whole region to tell for weeks and months ahead, and we very much appreciate you telling it to us here on ABC News.
Good on you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Bob Thatcher there.